Wanna go outside? Huh? Wanna go outside? Thought so. Oh, crap. We nuts? It's too cold, huh? Come on, let's go pee. Whoa! Wow, it's freezing out here. -8 today. -8 in Cincinnati, Ohio. Give me a freaking break. Clearly, we're not fishing today. Cash hates this. I hate this. So today we're going to talk about favorite rods over the last 2 years. I got mine about 2 years ago, and we're going to give an update on how they've held up. Stay tuned. Should be a good episode. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another Shaq's Outdoor Adventures. It has been a long while since I've made a video. Approximately 5 months. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of fishing going on from November through February. We're in February. Well, it's about to be February 1st. And as you can see outside, it is miserable. I live in the Midwest. For those of you who haven't watched me, live over near Cincinnati, Ohio. A lot of lakes within an hour's time frame from here that fish very well, but unfortunately, near me, you're not doing much fishing right now. So, with that said, today's video, we're going to get into my favorite fishing rods. Well, favorite rods, I guess you could say. I was probably one of the first guys to go out and chase these rods. And I'm not going to lie, I saw it on YouTube, and when I first started fishing, first started really getting back into fishing, I needed gear, and kind of fell for the old marketing ploy of YouTube, and picked up onto the Guggen boys, and actually, believe it or not, a lot of them helped me on just techniques that I just wasn't aware of, so I'll be the first to admit that they are somewhat changing the YouTube world and getting people into fishing that probably wouldn't be into it on a daily basis. Anyway, so I jumped on their bandwagon and the favorite bandwagon, and have a couple videos, which I'll link down below, that talk about the rods when I first got them, and kind of gave a review on them. Wasn't very good. Didn't expect favorite to reach out to me and say, hey, man, we're going to give you a bunch of rods. But nevertheless, I did it, and I felt like it was beneficial to me and learning how to become a better YouTuber. Anyway, enough off that tangent. So this is the Defender. Oop, too much stuff around me. Defender rod. It's a 7.6 medium heavy. I used it majority for a frog rod, and out of all my rods, this one took the beating the worst. Lost a few guides, put a few guides back on. Hey, stop. Damn dog. Yeah, it just took an overall beating. The rod, though, is held up. It's just the guides. The guides have these, I don't know if you can really see that or not, but so the guides have this little insert right there that starts to break down after a while, and unfortunately, it ripped a few of my lines, and then as I was casting it, I just started losing baits. Started to become pretty frustrating, but so that's one of the several rods I have. All right, so getting back to the favorite rods. So I did, overall, I think the product's good. I have multiple other rods. I use a lot of Shimano and Favorite. I feel like once you kind of stick with a brand, it will help your game out substantially. You can kind of fine tune exactly how you want to fish certain baits with what you have. I think when you have a multitude of brands, it gets a little tricky to figure out exactly how everything works. So I try to stay in the Shimano series and the Favorite. I do have some Duckets, which I really love the Ducket rods. Obviously Ducket does a fantastic job. I did end up selling a couple of them this year, and migrated a couple more rods over to Favorite. Nice part is I traded some stuff, so I didn't actually have any cash out of pocket, which is nice. And then sold some things to actually pay for my rods. And I think that that's what everyone has to think about, because this hobby gets pretty expensive, and you can't always go buy the best of the best. You have to kind of make do with what you got. But Favorite has a line in that $100 to $150 range that I feel like sends out a pretty decent product, even though it may not be from the U.S. It might be from, China or wherever they get their rods from. I don't really care. Branding doesn't matter to me. I'm just comfortable at this point with what I have and the price points that they sell things at. I'm not sponsored, by the way, by any of these companies. Believe me, they don't really care about my little 500-person YouTube channel. They have plenty of other guys that can help support their company. I just purchase everything, and I like low price points. So with that said, overall, I think to get 2 years out of rods is pretty good, as much as I fish. And for the most part, they've held up. I mean, I've had some fixes on some of them. I've had some that I haven't fixed. Overall, I have a pretty wide assortment of rods for different techniques, and I feel like it's all held up, and I'm pretty happy with my purchases over the long haul. So if you're looking to buy Favorite, I would suggest go ahead and do that. In that $100 to $150 price point, you're going to get a quality product that's going to hold up, and that's probably the most important thing. I know most of you kids or guys my age probably can't take it. Taking rods in and out of a boat is a pain, because the rod tubes always smash the guides. Moving it in and out of a car with a kayak is a pain. You have to, worry about getting stuff caught up on the guides or breaking the rod. My dog broke 2 of my rods, and one was an Akuma, and then I think the other one was a Favorite rod, which I was really frustrated about. But what do? You can't. Stuff happens. So keep that in mind when you're purchasing stuff. Make sure that you feel comfortable with the quality of the product that's being made. And this is an honest review of it. Maybe not the best rods, and I think they get a lot of slack for their brand and how it became a brand. But take that aside. Look at all the guys jumping to Favorites now. I'm sure that they are giving away rods left and right to get these guys to jump on board. But hey, Scott Martin's jumping on board, and the dude can straight stick. He was using Akuma before. Akuma was not a great rod by any stretch of the means, but he supported the company because they supported him, And I think that they came up with a product that worked for him. So they don't have to be the best of the best. $100, I just don't get spending $250, $300 on rods. It just doesn't make sense. I don't care if you're the best fisherman in the world. What you're going to get out of a $100 to $150 rod is exactly the same as a $250 rod. You're going to catch fish, or you're not going to catch fish. There's nothing in between. That's just my take on rods, and then Favorite rods especially. Let me know down in the comment what kind of rods you guys use. I'd be happy to try some of those out if you have some suggestions.